Tom Kearly was the head football coach at Michigan Tech for 11 seasons, from 2005 to 2016. He ranked second in program history with 70 wins. He was named the 2010 GLIAC Coach of the Year and led the Huskies to the 2012 GLIAC North Division title and an appearance in the NCAA tournament in 2014. If you look back at the year-by-year history of Michigan Tech football program, it's pretty clear to see the improvement the Huskies started to make when Kearly returned to the Copper Country in 2000 as the associate head coach and offensive coordinator. Andy Bonk was the defensive back on Tech's first ever NCAA playoff team in 2004. He had this to say: "Coach Kearly and I were never on the same side of the ball, but we were always on the same page. In practice, he demanded perfection. When O went against D, my job was to ensure his offense didn't find success. I'd be lying if I said O usually didn't look better than D, but when we did get the better of the offense, he'd rail against his guys, walk back to the huddle, and give a subtle nod to us on the other side of the ball. Our battles in practice and the expectation he set served as a foundation for success. 2 short years after that infamous March morning in 2003, when Coach Anderson told us the football program had been cut, Tech found itself on top of the GLIAC. From the edge of extinction to the top of the mountain, a constant was Coach Kearly. His skill and ability as a coach led us from the bottom to the top, and his character and will are what helped define the culture of Michigan Tech football. I'm lucky to have called Tom Kearly coach and am forever grateful to have played for a great coach and a better man." We also heard from Dan Metlack, who's the current associate head coach and offensive coordinator. He said, "I first met Coach Kearly when I was in high school and was fortunate enough to build a relationship with him while attending football camps at Central Michigan. I always appreciated the coaching I received from him at those camps and the way he connected with the players on a personal level. At that time, Michigan Tech was really not on my radar during the recruiting process until I received a midweek evening phone call from Coach Kearly letting me know that he was taking the job at Michigan Tech. I chose to attend MTU because Coach Kearly was joining the staff, and I knew that above all else I wanted to play for him. I can't thank him enough for helping me make that decision. Michigan Tech was the perfect home for me, and I consider my years spent with Coach Kearly some of the most formative of my life. He was an incredible coach, teacher, and leader throughout his entire career, and continues to be a great friend and mentor today. Congratulations, Coach Kearly, on this well-deserved honor." And I have one more story from former offensive lineman Mike Brewster. "Coach Curls had a way of connecting with all of us. I have good memories of Curls calling plays in our huddles at practice, either commenting something about your hometown and how inferior it was, or maybe an old high school girlfriend who never taught you how to dance, or perhaps your lack of athleticism as witnessed by him watching you on film over and over and over again, giving him nightmares. Halftime on Saturdays were the same thing. He would seek you out and ask you, what are you seeing? What fronts are they giving you? Any plays you like? I always felt like I had a say, true or not, in contributing to the success of the team. We had a pretty good team, and I believe his ability to reach out and hear from the frontline guys allowed him to make halftime adjustments better than any other team, even if it meant not running plays where the center pulls. Because of that strong connection he had to his guys, you had the feeling of not wanting to let him down. You played for your team and coaches, and the guys who played for Curls certainly did just that. Personally, I was never really close to my dad, but having Curls around at Tech sure felt like someone that wouldn't hesitate to kick my rear if I screwed up and I didn't want to disappoint him. Congrats on your induction, Coach Kearly. Look forward to seeing your mug on the wall in my future Tech visits. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michigan Tech Sports Hall of Famer, Tom Kearly.
Luker, you know Suzanne said those nice words because she's afraid these next 2 speeches are going to be about 3 hours. But don't worry, Suze. I got a bet with Luker on who can do this the quickest, and I'm going to win. I'm honored and humbled to be here, and I'm also very excited to be a part of the class of 2022. I was just a youngster when Roger enjoyed a great 3-sport career here. I know how important and influential Jim was to our football program at a very crucial time. I saw Katie play, and she's arguably as good as anybody that's ever played here. I was fortunate to coach Lee in his playing career, and I can honestly say that he was as tough and a physical running back as we ever had here at Michigan Tech. 3 times 3 seasons, he was a 1,000-yard carrier and was an All-American for us. In the last 30 years of Michigan Tech hockey history, the leading scorer in careers is Patrick Mickish. That's a great feat. Pat and Amy were our neighbors for a bunch of years, and I now have a public opportunity to apologize to Amy and Patty for that Christmas Eve afternoon when Patrick and I met in his garage for one pop. I wanted to leave, but he kept going to the fridge. I'd like you two ladies to know that it was all Tapper's fault. I'm also very honored to be inducted with my coaching brother, who shared a office wall, and a lot of the same ideas that I did in coaching young people. Over the years, we had many, many, many discussions and opinions and debates. And in all of those discussions, I was always right, but I never won. Quickly like to thank some of the people that helped me get here. Since 5th grade, I've been a Michigan Tech Husky and a Hancock Bulldog. I had to get the Bulldog Nation shout out there for the two Hozzies, Jeffrey, Mick, Nami, Shanny, wherever you are. But my mom and dad were instrumental in making athletics a big part of the Kearly household. My brother, sister, and father are all here. My two biggest influences in my coaching career were my father, who taught me about loyalty and working hard every day, and Herb Duramity, who taught me how to be a football coach. I'm very fortunate that I had not a good, but a great coach's wife. You hear that phrase, he outkicked his coverage, look that up, and there's my picture on that page of the dictionary. During our career here at Michigan Tech, we were very fortunate that we had a president in Glenn Mraz who cared about athletics, and we had an athletic director in Suzanne Sandregret who did not micromanage but let us coach, and I'll always be appreciative to both of them. Patty and I will always be in debt to Bernie Anderson, who brought us back to the Copper Country and allowed us to raise our family here. Both Kyle and Tanner are very proud Bulldogs, alums. I'm also privileged in my career here at Michigan Tech to work with some really fine people, great people at the SDC. Bill Roberts was always helpful to our football program, whether he was in the admissions department or the financial aid, or now as the vice president of the university. Dennis Hagenboot was the mayor of the second floor at the SDC. He's still the guy that I picture when someone says, think of a good Samaritan. Chris Roy and I were best man at each other's weddings a long time ago, and worked together for over 15 years at the SDC. He still carries me every Thursday night in men's golf league. And I'll always be thankful to have an office manager and a friend like Elaine Isaacson. She took the worst technology guy in the world and made it work. You know, when you coach for a living, you remember big wins and heartbreaking losses, but I think the best memories are the student athletes that you get a chance to coach. And at Tech, you get a chance to coach a special kid. Not always a special athlete, but a student athlete second to none. I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for my first recruit here, Dan Matlack, who flipped his commitment from the bad guys down the road and came to us at Michigan Tech when we won a championship. When we got here, our first quarterback was Alex Kowalski, and that coach-player relationship has turned into a lifelong friendship. Current football assistant Phil Milbreath still gets my vote for the greatest single game performance when in 2010 he rushed for almost 300 yards and we beat Grand Valley when they were rated #1 in the country. So many young people that we got to coach affected me and had a lot to do with me as a person and as a coach. And it wasn't always just the star players that you remember. Even though they didn't play an awful lot, guys like Gary Hagler and Charlie Minion Schmidt and Raymond Ray Waitala and Derek Single affected me and helped me grow as a coach. You know, in the past 6 years, I've been asked quite often, what do you miss most about coaching? And I just about always say, it was the Monday team meeting the week we were playing the Cats. I wanted to give that 3-minute speech today, but I would probably have had to lead out about 500 adjectives. And my heart really doesn't need that at this age. And I have a 3-way text with football alums Steve Short and Anthony Santi. It only gets action once a year. And it's at 10 minutes after the Miners' Cup is secured for another season. You know, they probably paid about $5 for that thing, but it's priceless when it's in your trophy case or it finds its way to the West Hancock Athletic Club. Before I sit down, I just want to let the administration, President Kubek, Suzanne, and others know that we need Kevin Luke's name on that basketball court. He's one of a very few that gave his whole career to Michigan Tech and enjoyed tremendous success. I walk with him just about every day, and we both know that if we go down, there is no way in hell that the other guy is going to try to save us with mouth to mouth. I would like to see that improvement in the basketball court, so in case I'm the first guy to go down, let's get it done, please. Michigan Tech has been great to Patty and I and the whole Kearly family, and I'm honored to be inducted with this group of Huskies. Thank you.